I am sure sports. You know me there, I'm coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know the game play, that me not say it. If me never seen a game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crap of players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment. Let me know what your thoughts are.
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices, add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
Trick Nick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
The background. There we go. Good evening. Hope you're having a wonderful evening. I am Manning's Man. Yes, and you're tuned into I Am Sure Sports. And today, this evening, we have a big one lined up for you. Yes, indeed. We will be talking to one Mr. Tier 4 Bennett, yeah man, former Village player, also played for Cedric Titus, you know them schools there out in Trelawney, yeah, former national player as well. Yes, we're going to be talking to him. This is the this week has been a Trelawney week, so you know that we're not going to go too far. Unless I see Trelawney rolling out and Trelawney running out. Understand me? Want to see Trelawney in the building. Want to see Village in the building. So people just jump on in and let us get it going. Yeah, we're going to talk into Tier 4 Bennett. You know that, I mean, until today, I didn't know the correct spelling of his name, and I always spelled it wrong, you know. Very tricky in its spelling, but yeah, man, we're going to talk to him today, have him share his journey. As usual, let us firstly take time out to big up our sponsors. Yes, the sponsors of this video is Prestige Finance, lending a helping hand when you need it most. Call them at 876-884-7390. Right? And if you call them and tell them that you heard about them from I Am Sure Sports, here is what will happen. You'll pay no processing fee, same day processing, 0 to 4% interest rate on your loan up to 100,000 Jamaican dollars. Also launch Legacy, where they handle risk and seek legacy on your behalf. So for all your personal insurance needs in Canada and the USA, visit them at launchlegacy.com or call or text 647-989-0782. Also, Trick Nick is a Jamaican-owned and operated company out there in Canada, and they use authentic Jamaican herbs and spices to make all their products. So please check them out and get some of their jerk sauce, barbecue sauce, and all of those fancy stuff that they have there selling. Listen, big up to everyone in the comment section. We ask you when you come on, please hit the like button. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. That's one way of supporting the work that we do. Also, if you don't want to like the video, you can do a super chat or a super sticker and contribute to the channel as well. Without any further ado, I'm going to bring the man from Chilani, the man who should have win the Premier League title for Village, when the man catch you Ellison Wakeland feeling. You understand me? You know it is a mean deal. You're about to lose. But let's welcome to I Am Sure Sports this evening, Mr. Theophore Bennett in the building.
Blessings, man. Give thanks, you know.
Greetings and salutations, man.
Give thanks.
I'm so happy to talk to them, man, because
Give thanks, man. Give thanks for having you, for you. Give thanks for having me, man. You know what I mean? Grateful, you know.
Yes.
Yeah,
Some people, somebody said, is it the same man? Chago
yes, man.
mentioned Cargo. Is Cargo or Chago?
Cargo.
Cargo mentioned you in song?
Cargo, the singer, the musician, Cargo, you know.
He mentioned you in song. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you know. The song that gave him his big break was Tier 4. Remember song what gave him big break, you know, was a Tier 4 Friend for Life.
Yeah?
Yeah,
I didn't know. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Whoa, that is an awesome story. Don't tell me that Cargo used to play ball, because Cargo look like him is a farmer, and not look like him is a ball man,
I know, really, you know that I met Cargo in Kingston in 2010, you know. I met him at my brother's house, you know what I mean? So I went there and I saw him there. My brother is a musician also from Clarkstown, Prestige. So I saw him there and all of them was there together and stuff, you know. So from there we become brethren. So you know, we just hang out a few times and you know, the rest is history.
All right, awesome, wonderful. So, Mr. Bennett, welcome to again. I Am Sure Sports. Glad to have you. Listen, so a lot of people, Trelawney may know your people in Western Jamaica, many people probably in Kingston, but you have a new generation, a youth out there, probably some of the older players who live in the diaspora may not know for Bennett. So, talk to us. Tell us how football started for you. All the way from the beginning to your time at Village. Just go ahead and share the story and we will listen attentively.
Wow. Where should I start from now? I started out playing football in a little all-age school called Duncan's All-Age in Duncan's, Chilani. That's where I started out playing first, you know what I mean? As a little youth, you know, we love football, so we play football. Anyway, we see that play, we did play, you know what I mean? But it was a really tough beginning for me because I was living with my grandparents at the time and my mother was living in Kingston. So what happened is my grandfather died when I'm about age 11, about fifth grade in Duncan's All-Age, and I was playing the Premier League. And my mom came back from Kingston and took me to Kingston with her. So I went there and lived with her in Vineyardton, to be precise. I went to the Mountain View Primary where I played the Premier League. You know what I mean? From there, I missed. After the Premier League, you know, as I said, things rough. I was acting the street with my mother. My mother was selling on the street, so or downtown selling, you know what I mean? You know, them things, bag juice, cheese, everything. So I missed like 2 years fully out of school because when I left Mountain View Primary, I never go back to any school. I was on the street acting with my mother. You know what I mean? So my mother decided that she want me to go to Caymanas Park and be a jockey because she was just trying to get something to help me, you know what I mean? Whoa. And she introduced me to somebody and bring me over there. I was there for like 2.5 years. And then I said to myself, this is not mine. This is not me, you know what I mean?
Hold on. So you're training to be a jockey?
Yes, I was training to be a jockey. My mom left me over there for like 2 years. I was there with.
Whoa.
with some prominent trainers too, and you know what I mean, and some prominent jockeys that are riding now, wasn't riding then, was people like me there now that are friends of mine right now. As I say, I was living there, live over there. You know what I mean? Because I say it was terrible, you know. My upbringing not easy, you know what I mean? And when I realized at age 14, I realized, nah, this is not me, you know what I mean? I have to leave this place. I run away back to country and go back to my grandmother. So when my mother looking for me, I go to the truck to try and find me. Nobody know where I'm at until my grandmother. In those days was telegram. Talking about 1994 was telegram. So my grandmother sent her a telegram and tell her that I'm not coming back to Kingston. You know what I mean?
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
So
so that's you ended up back in
Chilani.
Chilani. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so I ended up in Chilani and I went
I think, man, we could have we could be interviewing a Jackie.
So I went back to Chilani and I end up in my old youth club, which is Flames United. Flames United is my club that I started out playing with since I was going to all-age school. So I was playing with them and I was trying to get into school. My grandmother was trying to get me into school, and you know it was always rough. So she said I should try and learn a trade. So she sent me to the Elliston Wakeland Center. At that time, they got people down there teaching you to make pans, to be a chef, to do, you know what I mean? It was a community center where they have it was SDC development program was there for like youths, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So while at Elliston Wakeland Center trying to be a tailor, same thing come again. I couldn't even use the needle. You know what I mean? So I started to hide away from going down there and start to go on the beach in Duncan's Chilani. I go on the beach every morning when my grandmother said me was being rude, you know what I mean? Because it's taunting in me same way, you know what I mean? And I was playing soccer on the beach, and a teacher guy from Cedric Titus was a secondary school at the time when that was about to be a comprehensive high school. He saw me playing down there and said, I know you know, and I tell him that where I'm from, and I say, no, my grandparents and everything. And I say, he can help me to get into Cedric Titus. So I say, I would appreciate it, you know what I mean? So he tell me to come there on a Monday, and I went there and I sat a test, and he said that I passed the test well. A kid like me shouldn't be out of school, you know what I mean? So I went to Cedric Titus January 1995.
Hold on. So you stopped going to school really from primary school.
From primary school.
And you still pass a test at around 14, 15.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So I passed that test and I started Cedric Titus at January 1995. And Cedric Titus entered the Dakar Cup September 1996 for the first time.
Okay.
I was 14, about to turn 15 in September 2nd. So since going to Cedric Titus now, that's where everything really get out for me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I played in all as a 14-year-old, the youngest kid on the Dakar Cup team. I played in all the games that my school played from 1996 until I left school to 1999.
Every game?
Every game. Never carried out, never injured, never nothing.
Wow.
Every game. So the first season was 1996. 1997 is when the Dakar Cup they stopped it prematurely because of some indiscipline thing. And then 1998 now I become the captain. So I go on and captain the team for the following 2 years. And then I left in 1999.
Okay, did you ever come out of the zone and do it because you were a fairly new team, so it must have been very tough, because I think originally Cedric Titus started out in a tough zone before they came over into the Senton zone.
Always came out of the zone, man. We're always a top team. It's just that people always never really sit and really take a look at Cedric Titus.
Were you in the zone with Marcus and
Marcus Garvey, Ochi Rios? Yes, Brownstone, Castle, Ferncourt, and all them teams, you know what I mean?
And you used to come out of that zone?
Of course.
Really? I thought Marcus and Ochi was always coming out of that zone. Okay.
Well,
No,
sorry
I'm
for
just
that.
asking.
You thought wrong.
Yeah. That's all right.
No,
So,
no. Well, as I said, my 4 years of playing in high school, Cedric Titus was a dominant force.
okay.
Meaning, I played 4 years in high school, and all the goals I scored in high school combined is 49,
Whoa.
and nobody has surpassed that in Cedric Titus history since I left many years
Okay.
ago.
Yeah, so
You know what
that's
I mean?
12 goals per season.
Put it that way, not necessarily 12, but just average
Yeah,
because
average
some
on
seasons
average.
score more.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? And
So
and and the same thing.
what is the furthest Cedric Titus advanced to? Can you come out of the zone, you get into the other round. Did you ever go on in your 4 years past that other state like
No,
the
we haven't passed. In my time, we haven't passed the quarterfinal. We were beaten 1-0 in the quarterfinal by Green Island in 1996, our first year.
Okay.
The first year, you know what I mean? So we haven't passed. In my time, we haven't passed the second round.
Okay. And you were the main man at the school, or there were other good ballers there with you?
Good, trust me, man. Talented baller. Whole heap of talented ballars go to Chilani. You know what I mean? Since 1996 to 2000, Chilani produced like so much players, so much talent that it's so hard to see how people overlooked it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you know the history, you know the thing, how it go. So from there on, I went back to, while playing in school, I was still playing in my local club, which is Flames United.
That's a Duncan team.
Yes, which
Yeah.
play in the Parish Super League in Chilani, where Village used to be in.
Right. And
You know what I mean?
Star.
Baka Star and all them clubs used to be in the same competition. And for that club, I'm still the person that hold the all-time leading scorer for that club too.
So you're always a forward, a center forward, or a winger.
Actually,
Or a
no, I
midfielder.
started out at left wing back,
Your first year Cedric side titles?
Yes, I started out at left wing back.
Oh.
You know what I mean? I played left wing back my first year, my second season, left wing back. Then my third season, I was in midfield, but I was scoring goals from everywhere I was. So the coaches decided, okay, let him play strike. So come I start to be a striker.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I think it's 1999. We went to the semi-final of the parish of the Chilani Super League thing, and we played against Village. And when we played against Village,
Invaders was also around that time because there was a next team
yes,
named Invaders.
Invaders was in the same Super League.
Okay. Because I know
Yeah,
Invaders was also in the Premier League.
Yeah, there was in the Premier League when that after Village went to the Premier League. Invaders came up after, probably about 2 years after.
Okay.
Yeah, but Village went to the Premier League before Invaders.
So you were playing for Cedric and still playing for Flames.
Flames
right?
United.
All right. So you finished Cedric Titus now. Were you ever called like to Alda Costa, any U team for Jamaica during your time at Cedric?
No, never been looked at as a youth.
Okay.
Never been looked at as a youth. I get an opportunity once to do a trials by Mushet High School. I think it was 1997. That year, you have Shane Crawford, you have Howard Reed. They was dominant force in that region too. And
Shane Crawford actually played for Village.
Yes, he played for Village, but he was at Wadada first.
Right, he was at Wadada. Yeah.
Yeah. So what happened is they when he was in high school, I was in high school too. So they got the Honor 20 team that came to pick Shane Crawford. There was an Honor 16 team at the time when I was 14 years old that I could have get the opportunity to try out for, but I didn't get the opportunity to play that game.
Okay.
So I was definitely never looked at as a youth.
Okay.
Never seen.
So you're playing schoolboy football and you're still playing for Flames in Trelawney. Flame not going through. Just tell me about how did you move now from Flames to did you go from Flames to Village, and how did that happen?
Yeah, what happened is, as I said, at my last season at Flames, I brought a lot of my friends my teammates from school to join that team because Steve Buckner was my coach at high school, you know.
Yeah, right. He was coaching Cedric Titus for real, yeah.
Yes. So he promised to help me out with Flames. So if all the players that played in the Castle Cup team go to Flames and stay together, he will help me out a few days of the week. So I just encourage everybody to come to Flames. So everybody come to Flames and we're doing so well. I don't know, we'll get to the semi-final. They heard that we lost like 20 points for ineligible players.
Whoa.
Using ineligible players. But we know that wasn't right. It's just that the politics in Falmouth at the time that pull us back. You know what I mean?
Oh, so that's how you what 20 points?
20 points
So
and pull
you never appealed it or anything?
Huh?
You never appealed it?
No, at the time, listen, and this is something that happened in high and low places. People that control the top, they have the power to dictate what happens at the parish level or the national level. You know what I mean? When you really look at it, though, our club would like to advance, but we didn't have the monetary bucket too. You know what I mean? So Village is the club at the time. Studs United was the club at the time. Those are the dominant clubs in Falmouth that moved on to play the Confed to go to the A League.
Right, because it was A League at that time, yeah.
Yes. So what happened is now Village went to play the playoff to go to the Craven A League. And we were playing in the business house. We were champion like Chilani Beach. I was playing for Chilani Beach at the time. Me, Thomas Grant, Fabian Darkin, Shane Crawford, all of us, all the Village, everybody, 90% of Village team was playing for the Chilani Beach Hotel
Thomas
team.
Grant went to Cedric Titus or Mushet?
Mushet him went to.
Mushet, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but most of these players that you see at Village, all of us was playing for Chilani Beach in the hotel league, in the business house league. We won the business house league, and we went to the finals in Kingston to play against Water Commission, and we lost in the final of the Champion of Champions. So on the way coming down on the bus now, everybody decide, listen, if we split up, nobody gonna see us. So let us all go to Village, and you know what I mean? Village new management was coming towards us and said, come to Village. All of us come to Village. So all of us went to Village one time. That's how I end up at Village.
Oh, so you, Fabian Darkins, Thomas Grant.
Yeah, me, Fabian Darkins, Thomas Grant, Elvis Hart, Fitzroy McIntosh, a lot of us, man, a whole lot of us. You know what I mean?
Ian McAnuff.
Ian McAnuff too.
So all of you guys were at the Flame side together?
Yeah, all right. The only players that wasn't that Flame was Thomas Grant. But me, T4 Bennett, Ian McAnuff, Fitzroy McIntosh, Fabian Darkins, all of us is production of Flames United.
Okay. Wow. Well,
so, I mean,
Elvis Hart is saying you're talking Starfish Hotel. Is the same at Trelawney Beach is Starfish?
Yeah, yes. But at the time it was,
Right. And
so we decided.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, so we decided that we will stay together and go to Village. We try enhance our career and also try to be a force in Jamaica. Try to make it then. You know what I mean?
And Village was in the Premier League at this time?
No.
Craven A League. A-League, okay.
Yes.
Okay. So what year did you go to Village? What year was that when your first season at Village?
2000.
2000. Okay. All right. So tell us about your time at Village now and stuff from the A-League to the Premier League to, being one of the big teams in the Premier League. People thought Village was going to win the League One season. I don't know. So tell us about that journey. Probably one of the most successful teams out of Trelawney to play in the Premier League is Village. I don't know.
Yes. And Village, as I said, Village. That those players that I told you from 1996 to 2000 in Trelawney, all those players combined together was awesome. You know what I mean? They got players out of William. They got like Damian Da Silva, Garvey Stevenson, players that really could hold themselves well playing at any level. You know what I mean? So that Village team then was just phenomenal. It was just
It was
Unstoppable.
predominantly Trelawney players in the team. You didn't have a lot of players from other parishes coming in. It's mainly Trelawney players.
I can name you the two players that played in that team that wasn't from Trelawney.
Okay.
Alric Henry and Mark Chingham Williams. R.I.P. Paul Davis was the head coach at the time. He was a part of the thing too.
Okay.
But his mostly Trelawney players was in that team.
All right. Somebody is saying that I must ask you about Drogba. Ricardo Scott.
Yes, man, Ricardo Scott. Yeah, we went to Celtic Titus together. It was a prominent goal scorer too. Very strong kicker of the ball. Yeah, we grew up together. Actually, me and Ricardo Scott grew up together. You know? We went to the same primary early school in Duncans. We're from the same era, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Very, very, very talented player, you know what I mean?
Went to Reno though.
Yeah, he went to Reno because he stopped. What happened with Ricardo Scott? You know, he stopped playing for probably about 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
And then he came back and go to Reno. When he came back, we never stopped, so we already advanced.
Okay, I see what I mean. All right, so tell us, I mean, Elvis Hart is saying 1999 to 2000 first season at A-League, that was the first year. Talk to us about that and thing, how the team did, how you qualified for the Premier League, and then your time in the Premier League.
Well, as I tell you about that team, it wasn't only me. Even though I was the leading scorer, I scored most of the goals. It wasn't only me. That team was super talented. You know what I mean? We started out and we think we got 17 game unbeaten. Nobody touched us.
In the A-League?
Yeah, we even knocked Aberview out of the Jane-based knockout that same season. So we were playing in the lower league, but we have so much talent that we were dominant down there. You know what I mean? So we won. We got 17 game unbeaten. I think I scored like 22 goals that season. That year I was MVP, Junior Player of the Year. You know what I mean? Because I was still a youngster, you know, pretty much just about high school. You know what I mean? So after that year,
there's something blocking a part of the camera. I don't know if it's your hand. Yeah.
So that year, 1999 to 2001. That's when we won the Creveny A-League and we qualified and go to the Premier League.
Also, the same year you went to Village was the same year they qualified for the Premier League.
Yeah, we qualified for the Premier League and we stayed there for 10 solid years.
Okay. Well, you and who qualified that season for the Premier League?
That season was we on Duane Park.
Okay.
When Duane Park played the finals.
And both of you qualified. So you won the finals as well?
Yeah, we won the final. We won everything that year. Village United won everything that year.
Whoa. That's great. That's great. And you were the leading goal scorer, best junior player as well.
Yeah.
So because you would still be under 23, right? At this time. You didn't get called to Jamaica U team at this time?
1999, I was 19.
And you never got called to any of the U teams in Jamaica that time?
No, the only youth player that left that time was Fabian Dawkins, went to the under 20. But the thing, I think there was a technicality there, even though, as I said, I wasn't looked at. No question asked. I don't know if it's because I was born September. Because sometimes the month where you're born cause the coaches to not look at you, you know. But even though I was scoring goals, even though I was scoring goals and load of goals, I was never looked at.
That's what I'm wondering, because you're the best junior player, scoring the most goals for your team, qualify them, and then they call somebody else from that same team to the junior team and not you, you know. So I'm just wondering what could have been happening. But it is what it is. We don't know, so we can't get into it. Kind of probably a mystery that we have to just leave and see.
Yeah. But there's somebody else that they call, take nothing away from him, you know.
No, man. Fabian Dawkins, good baller.
Great baller.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it was just a nice ride, you know what I mean? And then it was a stepping stone for me because I wanted more. You know what I mean? I worked hard. Whoever who know me or played with me or coach me know that I'm a player that worked hard. I worked twice or even 4 times as hard as any player that I played with. You know what I mean? So nothing never really come easy. So and I wasn't expecting it to come easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you would say that then because your major coach up to this point would have been Steve Buckner.
A major coach. Steve Butler was my coach in school.
Right.
In
And
high
then-
school. Remember, I've been through.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. He would have been the person who conditioned you all the way up to probably your A-League days. You would say that he's a coach that was.
Yeah, and then you have like maybe people who are not licensed, but they were coaches like in my community that helped me too. You know what I mean? So it would be unfair to say that it's only Steve Butler when Steve Butler met me at 14, but I was playing in Flames where you have other coaches too that mold me to who I am too. You know what I mean? Many people, there's many other people who help me too. You know what I mean? So it's just that Steve Butler is a name that maybe a lot of people know, but there's many other people who help me too.
All right, Elvis are trying to help you. He say you beat Galaxy One Love in the season finale in the A-League.
In the season finale?
Yeah, that's what Elvis Hart is saying. Beat.
No, the final we played Duane Park.
Okay.
The A-League we played Duane Park. Duane Park was leading us 2-0 at Duane Park, and I scored in the last 10 minutes, and they gave and the game finished 2-1. We went back for the second leg in Elliston Wakeland Center, and we beaten them 2-0 over there in Elliston Wakeland Center.
Okay, you sound like your memory sharp, man. But you have to fix the camera right now because right now we're just seeing, yeah,
man.
Yeah. All right. So let me just get this. Boris Johnson says, "Bless up, Sir Bennett." You know.
Give thanks, man. Give thanks, Boris, the legend. You know.
Yeah, man. And Fitzroy Duncan is talking about Johnny Reid.
Yeah, Johnny Reid was one of the coaches that helped us to, dedicate a lot to us. He was a coach at Trelawney Starfish too. And he was a coach at Village at some point, too,
Yeah, Elvis Hart, I forgot to work out the one. Elvis Hart, say a mid-season final.
No, we beat Galaxy in the mid-season final at Goshen.
Oh, okay. You beat Galaxy in the mid-season.
Yeah, we beat Galaxy in the mid-season final at Goshen. We beat them 2-1. Shane scored a penalty and I scored in the last 15 minutes to beat them 2-1.
Yeah. All right, so tell us about your 10 seasons in the Premier League with Village. I mean, what was that like? I mean, just tell us about the different seasons, the ones that stood out the most to you, some of the major.
Actually, me never really spent 10 seasons with Village, in the Premier League, because remember, me leave and play overseas, So me never really spent 10 seasons. That's like my back and forth sometimes, you know what I mean? But sometimes the ups and downs, really and truly, no matter what, we always try for pull back. Many coaches come and, you have at one point you have Jeffrey Maxwell, at another point you have even Clovis de Oliveira. You have so many coaches come and try to help Village throughout it. But Village is always a fighting team with the players that start. There's a lot of players that start, like from the A-League. When the chips are down, we are the players that always find the strength to lift Village back up. You know what I mean? Because there's many times we were down. I remember my first call up to the national team. When I came back, probably about 6 or 7 months after that, things were going bad because, as I said, Village was rough. And I don't remember getting 5,000 Jamaican dollars from somebody at Village from my first 3 seasons.
What you saying? Your first 3 seasons, you never get 5,000?
I don't remember somebody give me $5,000.
Like, you mean one time or?
One time or 2 times.
No, what I mean is that you have, in total, you have never gotten that amount in 3 seasons or like. I
could get it, I could get it, but I don't remember. So if I was getting it, I remember.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I was show you how rough it was. So at some point, I lost my mother in 2002 when Village was really booming. It kind of hurt me. And then the management at village was supposed to help with a certain situation in terms of my mother burial and stuff like that. Nobody come forth, and it just kind of went put me in a sit back where I wasn't even talking to nobody about that situation either.
Whoa.
And
And
it
you
come up
weren't being, so you weren't being paid by the club in like
my
you know.
first, all right, my first season, which is the A League, where I tell you I
Yeah.
was the leading scorer. They promised us to pay us like $2,000 a week or $3,000 a week, somewhere that if I don't remember. So I spoke to the management at the time and told them that please, that money that you guys are planning to pay me, I'm gonna live in the Elliston Wakeland Center. I want you guys to save it for me and put it all together because I want to help my mother to build a house, to build a little something to live in. When
Yeah.
the season finished, we won the season and everything, and everybody jolly and everybody, and I went to them. Everybody just give me the going around. So I didn't get a dime. I can remember that.
And you were actually living in the Ellison Wakeland Center.
Yeah, I lived in Falmouth. I walk Falmouth bare. All right. I walk Falmouth bare feet. I walk Falmouth without shoes. Maybe I want slippers. You know what I mean? That's why me love Falmouth so much. I love every corner of Falmouth because Falmouth people treated me like their own. They loved me. I eat at more than 40 people house a daytime living in Falmouth. You know what I mean? Falmouth is dear to me because I'm not from Falmouth. I'm from Duncans. And I went there and lived there because I couldn't afford to go back and forth every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I lived there in that place. I was sleeping, and Elvis Hart know too. I just built my home there and just know that I have to get out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Whoa. Let me just read. I have to read some comments. Some of these things are just fascinating. AQ here saying, if a team wins the second tier competition in a country and gets promoted, both forwards, if juniors must be called to the national U team. This is absolute nonsense. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand how you can win the second tier competition, get to the top tier, right? You are the leading goal scorer. You are voted the best junior player. And nothing, this is not a Fabian Dawkins thing, but how you don't get called?
For any other team. For any other team. I didn't get called for any other teams. Not even the team.
Even to just go and train and then them say you don't make it. How these things, I don't know. Something we have to find out.
But you're talking about the first season. What about the second season when I entered the Premier League? I was dominant. I was unstoppable in the Premier League. The first three seasons of the Premier League, I was unstoppable.
Talk to us about the first season in the Premier League. How well did you do?
The first season in the Premier League, our first game was against Arne Gardens. We drew 1-1. And from there on, I was scoring goals on top of goals. We went to the semi-final in the first two seasons. And I still didn't get no call.
You went to the semi-finals?
We went to the semi-final of the Premier League in the first two. We finished third in the Premier League 2 seasons in a row.
This is 2002 and 2003.
And 3.
Okay. So in your first season, who beat you in the semi-finals in your first season?
In our first season, I think it was Portmore United. Portmore United beat us in the semi-final, and they go on to win the Premier League.
And then they played the third and fourth playoff.
It wasn't a playoff. They won the Premier League because we played them in the semi-final. We got the third place.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know what I mean?
And then in the following season, you got to the semi-finals again.
Yes, I was beaten by Tivoli Gardens. Tivoli Gardens go on to win the Premier League.
See, Elvis Hart say you finish. Say, I don't know. Elvis Hart say you finish 6th the first season.
The first season are probably the second season and the third season we went to the semi-final.
Yeah. But that is still impressive. I mean, what? So fine, because we don't want to chop and chip. You said right. So first season, second season, your mother died, right? The club didn't. Did you leave the club or you still stayed? Because I know you said they didn't play for Village all 10 seasons that they were in there.
At any given time, I've never left the club because remember I was still in a learning process, about how the business work and everything. I don't even know what it is because I was fooled that I was contracted to the club and I can't go nowhere and I can't do anything at all. You know what I mean? The only time I was supposed to leave the club is when the management and the coach at the time approached me and tell me that last season wasn't a good season for me. I only scored 8 goals, so they wanted to loan me out to Seba. Yeah, they wanted to loan me out to Seba in Montego Bay. At the time, Howard Reed was on loan there and was doing well and so forth. So I suggested to the management at the time that if you want to loan me out, no problem. I would rather go to Arne Gardens, because Arne Gardens would have accepted me because they wanted me to come. So I would rather go to Arne Gardens. They said, no, they're not sending me to Kingston and they're not loaning me out to Kingston and whatever, and for whatever reason. So I said to them, say, okay, all right. I speak to Theodore Whitmore on the phone at the time, and then Arvid Powell, and I said, come to Seba and everything will be okay and so forth. And for some reason, I wasn't digging Seba. You know what I mean? So I decided that I wanted to go to Reno. So I left and I went to Reno. I met a gentleman named by the name of Murdoch, was the management at the time. I left and I went to Reno. Yeah, I left and I went to Reno preseason. All my preseason I was in Reno training. So they loaned me to Reno that preseason. And I was training in Reno and playing practice games, even played against Village in a practice game and stuff. And I'd be like, everything is perfect now. I'm going to play for Reno this season. It was me, Aaron Lawrence, and you know what I mean, Nikolai Finlayson was a youngster at the time. Patrick Graham was there, you know, Patrick Graham. Yeah. A lot of players was there, and you know what I mean, I would say, okay, everything is good now, so I'm a play for Reno. Before the Premier League season started, I get recalled to the national program.
Recall or you get called?
I get recalled, man. It was a recall. Before?
When was your first call? Because you're gone past that, man. You never tell us.
My first call for Jamaica was, I think it was 2003. 2003, if I'm not.
That's the second season when you went to the semifinals.
Yeah, but I didn't get called by playing in the Premier League in Jamaica, you know. Oh. Jamaica was supposed to go to the Gold Cup. I think Jamaica was supposed to play Norway in a friendly. That game didn't fall through, so they decided they're going to play a Jamaica All-Star versus the Jamaica national team at Jared Park.
Oh.
Gene Gray was the management for the Jamaica All-Star team that was supposed to play against Jamaica at Jared Park. So what happened is the national team selected. I was one of the top scorers in the country at the time. The national team selected. I wasn't in the national team. The All-Star team selected, and I wasn't in the All-Star team. So there was this Rastaman that followed Village since day one from Westmoreland. I used to call him the Russies man.
Oh, Pepper.
He was always calling on the sports programs and them thing. Even when I was in Jamaica the last time, I tried to find out from a couple of the players that I know to try to reach out to him or something. But he was always calling in that program and say, "How comes he's not getting any chance?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So last minute, Gene Gray called me and said I should come to Montego Bay and I will play in the All-Star team. I was supposed to go to Argentina and trial because I went to Argentina like a month before and I did well, and something happened and I don't know why I was ended up back in Jamaica. So I was supposed to go to Argentina and trial a Tuesday, and now I found out the reason why the management didn't want me to play in that All-Star game is because they said they didn't wanted me to get injured before going to Argentina. So I take it upon my own self and went to Jared Park and go to Gene Gray, and I played in that All-Star game versus Jamaica. Happens that Jamaica All-Star beaten Jamaica national team 2-1. It was me and another player called Wolf who scored against Jamaica at that time. Okay. So on the plane going to Argentina, the following morning, which is the Monday, I saw the headline in the paper on Air Jamaica at that time. It was Air Jamaica. You know, you always get the newspaper on Air Jamaica.
Yeah.
I saw the headline said Coach Carl Brown said Tier 4 Bennett opened many eyes. That was the exact headline.
Okay. But this year, you're already on your way to Argentina.
I'm on my way to Argentina.
But
so the team
really
still
you never got called to the national team though.
No, the team left and got the Gold Cup without me. So when they came back now, they was supposed to play Brazil in a Guinness match in Kingston.
Okay. When they came back
so
from
that's
the Gold
when
Cup.
when they come back from the Gold Cup. So that's when I get the call to came back. So I came back from Argentina and played that game.
Okay, so you came back from Argentina to play for Jamaica national team against
Brazil.
A Brazil team?
Yes, in National Stadium. If you remember that Guinness match where they bring Bebeto and all them.
Oh, that was the first time you represented Jamaica?
The first time I ever represent Jamaica.
So did you go back to Argentina?
No. They pulled me from the trial and everything just to come. And I wanted to stay in Argentina and then
hold on. What do you mean
everybody said nah.
So who was your agent?
Agent?
To tell you that you can't leave because you have something in Argentina.
Agent? There was no such thing as agent, man. It was people building bakeries. Agent?
No, I know. Some of these things, like I'm in shock because I'm saying a man is in Argentina seeking to make better for himself, and you call him back, and he is it that a case that you had to come or you wanted? Like that's what I'm trying to figure out. You know.
Remember, I'm under the impression I'm still under a contract with Village United and the management of Village United. So if they say that,
you have to.
I say in Argentina, I have to come. But listen, what happened in those days now? In those days now, Jamaica only paint in the picture of every kids in Jamaica that trying to make it that England is the place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So playing for Jamaica, you're going to gain these caps, the 75% you need, and then we can give you a trial in England.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So they're not looking at nowhere else in the world where football is played. It's only in England. You know what I mean? So the reason for bringing me back is to cap me so I can play in England.
Oh, I see. Now I'm getting it. So you play in that game against Brazil, and then you ended up not going back to Argentina.
Not going back to Argentina, end up back in Falmouth in the same Elliston Wakeland Center.
Oh my God. I don't know the Tier 4, but I'm not leaving, you know. I'm staying in Argentina, you know. I don't come back up living at Ellison Wakeland Center, man.
Argentina is nowhere to places that to other places. Compare. Argentina is a first world football country, you know, where you can learn a lot and play and all that, you know. But there's other place in the world that pays so much money, so much more than Argentina that I went to, and they still pull me back.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So Argentina is just one place.
So you have gone to other places as well, and they pull it and all
right. Look, all right. Put it this way: I'm the only Jamaican that have the distinction to play on the 4 continents in the world. No other Jamaican have played football in the 4 continents in the world. Nobody don't talk about it. Nobody don't care because it's only coming from the Chilani. You know what I mean?
So where do you play? You play in South America?
I play in South America. I play in North America. I play in Europe, and I played in Africa.
Okay.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah. So we don't get to Africa yet. We don't get to Europe yet. We don't get to North America yet. So you come back for this game because we're talking about the Reno. You remember we were talking about the Reno thing. I know you're in the preseason in Reno.
Because that's one of the things that hurted me the most in my career. You know what I mean? Because I feel I felt I've done Reno wrong, even though technically it wasn't me. You know what I mean?
So why did you leave though? Why did you end up leaving Reno? having done the preseason there. Village
I
call you
didn't have
back?
a time. That's what I want to explain to you. I was called to the national program. We left for Fort Lauderdale to play against Guatemala. When we played against Guatemala, after the Guatemala game finished.
What competition did they go and play? Was it the
No, it was an international friendly,
friendly?
Jamaica versus Guatemala. Yeah, after we won the Digicel Cup.
Yes. So, you went to the Diesel Cup with Jamaica?
We won the same Digicel Cup that you and Mr. Downsy was talking about. I was a part of that team.
Okay.
That won the Digicel Cup with Mr. Downsy. Well.
Okay. And then after that, you went to play a friendly against Guatemala.
Yes, we went to play Guatemala. I don't think it's after that, or it's before, or within the same time, before the World Cup. But it's within the same time.
Yeah.
So we went to play Guatemala. It was before the Digicel Cup. It was before the Digicel Cup. We went to play Guatemala because I just get recalled. So Guatemala was a preparation for the Digicel Cup. Because the Guatemala game, the coach then for the Guatemala game was Coach Brown and Professor Lazzaroni. So it's after that, you know what I mean? So
after that, Lazzaroni left.
Yeah, Lazzaroni left, and then it was Mr.
Carlbro
Downswell.
left the program, and then Downswell came on to
Came
take.
on.
I see.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
so to give you the full story about that situation now, when I was there in the hotel in Miami, Donovan Ricketts, which is village goalkeeper, Talpi, you know, we close.
Yeah,
So
man.
he said,
Yeah, man.
he said to me that I should bring something from his something management want to speak to me out the door or something. So I wonder which management that, because you know what I mean, when we go outside now, it was the owner of Village United.
In Miami.
And yeah, it was the owner of Village United. Remember, you know, this you want to see something I don't even want to talk in Miami. Right there, you know, it's to be like, okay. Remember, we play the Wednesday, you know. We play the Wednesday? No. We play the Thursday. The Thursday? No, we play the Saturday. We played the Saturday in Miami, and the Premier League was about to start the Sunday in Jamaica, the first game. Remember, I'd done all the preseason with Reno.
Reno, right.
You know what I mean? So when I go downstairs and I met the manager, the owner of Village United, and me and him, remember, I know this guy since I was a youth, you know.
Whoa.
And the man, and he look at me and tell me that these bags are for the club. So we said, what club? What are you talking about? He said, yeah, me pull back the loan. Me pull back the loan from JFF already. So tomorrow you're playing, you're going home, you're going home back to play for Village. So I say, what, you mean I understand you? He said, yes, he pull the loan back so I can't go to Reno no more. Even me sit down on the plane like this with Aaron Lawrence and everybody, and I can't even say to them that, listen, when the bus going to Westmoreland, I'm going this way. Whoa. That's how hard it was. You know what I mean? To show you how manipulative football can be.
Was that because you never have like a big brother or a father or other adults looking out for you? Because it seems like you're in some situation where some bigger people dictate what's going on with you.
What I try to explain is, remember me as a street youth. I was picked off the street. You know what I mean? I lived with my grandmother and our family home, everybody trying to make their own. My mother wasn't around. Nobody wasn't around for really, you know what I mean? Nobody really understand what's going on. It was a situation for me to do something to better myself, to get out of poverty, you know what I mean? So either me I go run track or me I go play football. Me I go do one. You understand what I mean? So when me arrive in Village United, I expected these people to the work that I'm putting in to treat me like I'm an asset. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He tell me plain to my face that, listen, you can't go on Reno. Where was Reno when Ima developed players? That was the word.
Whoa.
So I turn to him and I say, Reno was right there when you said you're going to loan me out.
Because you were off farm, because that's what I'm
Because I
saying.
was off farm. So
Yeah,
now
yeah.
what changed in 2 months is because I get called up back or what's the problem? You know what I mean?
Oh, whoa.
So
And then Downsville was also part of Reno and the national coach at the same time. That must have been tough. Yeah.
we say it start a feud between a great friend of mine. Probably me and Aaron, me and Wild Boy don't talk back till probably about 6 months after that. We win a national program and it's like, Aaron now hear what me have to say. It's like, you know, a tough things. At one point in a game, Aaron like, you want to fight me. I mean, I say, Aaron, me live better than this, you know what I mean? But me understand him feelings too. You know what I mean? I have to understand him feeling too, you know, because me and him down there we work together as two national players and my help me too. You know what I mean? So if you see like it look like a betrayal. And it gonna look like a my part. You know what I mean? But if I've known what I know now, a lot of things that happened to me in the past couldn't have happened.
Yeah.
So as me say, it was a learning process. And I don't love village. I love village and I love Jamaica. And if I should say anything bad about any community or anybody in the whole of Jamaica, we are because I play football all over Jamaica and I play Corner League, I play everywhere. So sometimes you have to speak to a person and must say, no, but him come from St. Anna, him come from around this and come from around this. It's because the way I grew up, I go everywhere and play, you know. So
yeah.
if you know what I mean, so I know people really care about me.
And listen, there's so many. So this is now the Guatemala, because after this is what I'm saying is so amazing, because like in your youth you never get called up, but you are more prolific in your youth, you know. Like, you know, in your first, you have to lean back. I think because you're close up to the tablet.
Yeah.
You see in your youth, because I'm saying that's why I'm saying that I can't understand why you weren't in the under 19, under 23, but you get called up to the senior team now. But even with the senior team, you always perform, and then we not sit here for Bennett again. So,
I know, but what you have to look for it's not only me.
no man, but you me I talk to me know about everybody.
I understand, but you have to look on like, you know, on the wider scale of it. It's not only me. You know what I mean?
I know that when I talk to them people, because there are others. I know.
The first thing we have to look on, you know, is many are called, but chosen are few.
Yeah.
You see the levels of what I'm saying? The weirdest thing is, if you look at the national setup right now, or for the last many years, you can think of, you have never seen the same team that played this week play next week. There must be a reason. That's what I mean. And if you look in England or you look in Argentina, you look anywhere in the world, you always see the same players playing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you know, something is wrong somewhere along the line.
Yeah. But somebody just tell me about the goal that you score against the USA. But I mean, after that, because you won the Digicel Cup, after that, when did you get called again?
After winning the Digicel Cup, I played prominently right up, you know. I wasn't out of the team.
Okay.
I wasn't out of the team because after winning the Digicel Cup,
yeah,
I came back from Barbados. We came back from Barbados the Monday, and I was the only local BS player that get contract from the Digicel Cup.
Oh, where did you get a contract? Tell us about that. Yeah, man.
I went to Virginia Beach Marinas in the A League, in the US A League. So I went to Virginia Beach Marinas in the A League. You know, by winning the Digicel Cup, we also qualified for the Gold Cup.
Okay.
So I played the Gold Cup that same time too.
And you scored in the Gold Cup? No, I'm just asking.
Mr. Management, you know Mr. Management, you know the history.
No. I'm ready. The people, if you hear, that's what we do. We do the interview, so we have to ask the question.
All right. That Gold Cup is the first time Jamaica have reached to the quarterfinal in a Gold Cup. It's the first time Jamaica have finished third in our Gold Cup.
Oh, you reached the semifinals?
We reached the semifinal and we finished third.
Yeah, that was with West Morgan.
Nah, man,
No,
no
man,
West
no, no,
Morgan.
no,
West
no, no,
Morgan
no.
from Leighton.
It was after that.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you the players that was in that team.
Yeah, go
That's
ahead.
the same Gold Cup team that Mr. Downswell coached.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was the player that came off the bench against South Africa to score that header to put Jamaica into the quarterfinals.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
The first time Jamaica have gotten that far.
Tell us some of the players in that Gold Cup squad that you remember.
Amazing team, man. You have the likes of Luton Shelton, Jeremy and you, Andy Williams, Ricardo Fuller, Donovan Ricketts, Damian Stewart, Tyrone Marshall, Jamal Campbell Rice. That team was phenomenal talent, man. Because I think after that Gold Cup, whoever on that team that was mostly local based players, and most of if not all, likes of Robert Scarlett and all of them, if not all players, most of the players gained contract from that Gold Cup. That's the time in Jamaica have signed the most players overseas after that Gold Cup. Everybody gained contract. The Jeremy and you, the Robert Scarlett, everybody, the Corey Stevenson, them, everybody was contract after that Gold Cup.
But you already had a contract with Virginia
Beach Marinas in the USA League.
Okay. So you still got, though you weren't playing in Jamaica, you still got called to that team, because you were playing in America, in Virginia at that time, and you were doing well in the A League.
I was a part. But I was a part of the winning. I was a part of the winning team that took the team to the Gold Cup.
Right, the Caribbean, right. But a lot of people don't know that even at Virginia Beach, you were scoring a lot of goals too, So tell us about that, because people don't know. I don't know if people know. But let me just get this from. This is AQ. AQ says, therefore, it's a business. There's no such thing as love with regard to what happened to you. An entire season and no pay, and even after mom's death, you get nothing, no way. Love, but like I said, that you were young, I was a street youth, so.
All right, just to say something for this guy that said that. I'm gonna tell you something that terrible that happened wickeder than that. We were playing Seba in Jared Park. First half of the game, Whitmore was playing in that game. The first half of the game, I scored twice. We were leading Seba 2-0. I get into a clash up with a defender called Cian McNeish, and I get 3 broken ribs.
Whoa.
In Jared Park. And I was ambulance out of Jared Park to like 5 minutes up the hill to Cornwall Regional Hospital. I was in Cornwall Regional Hospital for 13 days before I saw one representative from Village United.
So who was giving you stuff in the hospital in that time? Who was taking care of you? Because remember, your mother in Kingston, your grandmother can't
My mother died.
Yeah.
Mother gone them time, gone. You say who was doing what?
Who was taking care of you that 13 days in the hospital?
That's why whatever God bless me with, I have to share it. Because people share with me. You know what I mean? And then, you know what I mean?
Right. So this is the thing now, TF4. So after that time, you still go back to village?
Still go back. and I can tell you, oh, you want to tell you, oh, I saw that person?
Yeah.
It's like God was just showing me stuff. Like after the doctor them patch me up and take care of me, I was walking around in the hospital daily. They said they're not gonna let me out because I had some internal bleeding and stuff, so I could walk around in the hospital. And what happened is the Thursday evening when I saw that person, our captain, RIP to Mark Williams Chingum that died, was coming from training in Trelawney, going back to Flankers where he lived at, and he met in an accident and splinter fly into his eye. And he was on the same ward where I was. So that representative from village was coming there to bring water for Mark Williams. That's how I saw him.
I don't know I don't know if we can take anymore. I don't know if we can take anymore. This is a story. I'm going to stick to the good part.
No,
Because, yeah, man, it's really,
what I want you to understand, what I want you to understand is village is way bigger than those owners and management.
yeah.
You understand? The village is a Trelawney thing. Village is Falmouth. There's more people that treated me with kindness, love, and respect in Falmouth that I could look past these people. I could always look past these people because there's more people to be disappointed than them. You understand what I mean? I have to think about the compound. I have to think about site. I have to think about everywhere in Falmouth that combined to be village. You know what I mean? But your sound gone, man.
Hearing me now? You hearing me?
Yeah.
All right. So, somebody's asking at what age did you go to Virginia Beach? But yeah, just tell us about, because there's so much. Listen, people, we can do 2, 3, 4 interview with Tier 4 because we're not going to touch some of the things yet. We don't get Africa yet. We don't get into Europe yet. But this is just a Virginia Beach. Virginia.
And you don't get into Malaysia yet.
We don't get Malaysia yet. All right. But tell us about, Virginia, and how did you end up leaving there?
Virginia Beach?
Yeah, in the A League.
Yeah, what happened is I wanted more. I never really wanted to stay in Virginia Beach. Even though I was doing well, I was still looking at Europe or Asia or somewhere where I can make more money because it was much money making in the A League at that time. At that time, they were capping A League players at $25,000 or $3,000 because you're international players, you know what I mean? And most of that was going into bills. So I was still looking to get more. So after the Gold Cup, after scoring that goal against South Africa, I was offered a deal in Malaysia.
Yeah.
And the deal in Malaysia was I should go there and trial, and if I sign, they would give me a certain amount of money for the 5 months that I'm assigned for. And if they like me, I would stay there.
Okay. So you took that option and you moved from...
Yeah, I took that option and go for the trial. Even when I was going on the trial, the same people I'm telling about, no, you stupid, you can't go to trial, you're a big ball, you just go for Jamaica and this and that. But I know what I wanted.
This is after the Gold Cup, right?
Just after the Gold Cup.
Right.
Even after the Gold Cup, I went back to Virginia Beach and I was at training and they tried to offer me more money and I tell them, no, I'm leaving. Because the same management, I already spoke to the people in Malaysia, and the people that he spoke with, the agent and who he was talking with, offering money to him under the table behind my knowledge. So even he was one of them who was forcing me to go there too.
Oh, so basically you had to go to Malaysia because they collected money already.
Yeah, remember I'm on loan, Remember I still have this impression that I have contract. I still don't learn that if you have a contract and you're not getting paid, that contract is not valid. I don't learn that yet.
Okay, so now I'm getting it because I'm saying that they keep saying you're on loan. You didn't know that because you weren't being paid by them.
No. Paid what?
But you signed did you sign a contract with them?
Yeah, you sign a contract, but it's like when you just got there, sign a contract for like 4 years, like an amateur contract for 4 years. You know what I mean? So what they will do now, they will give the impression, because as me say, you don't know, you don't learn about those stuff, they don't teach those stuff in Jamaica. And that's one of the main reasons why Jamaica football is keep going back way. Because the business of the game they don't teach the business of the game in Jamaica, and the business of the game is bigger than the sports. You understand what I mean? Yeah. So you don't really know what happened, and then a person gonna tell you that, listen, you can't do this and you can't do that. You can't do this and you can't do that. But guess what? When you're supposed to get paid at the end of the month, you still don't see no money. If you sign a contract right now and a person's supposed to pay at a certain time and he don't pay you, the contract is not valid.
It's not.
I didn't learn that until I went overseas.
Yeah. So all right. So let's talk about your time in Malaysia, and because even in Malaysia, you were still called to the national team.
No, my stint in Malaysia, I didn't play in the national team for the 3. I was there for like 3.5, 4 months.
Okay.
So, but I came back, as I said, the season in Malaysia finished in September.
Oh, so you came back for the season in Jamaica?
Yeah, which I shouldn't have, because the season would start again in Malaysia in November. And then I was offered a 3-year deal in Malaysia to stay at the club.
Yes.
One of the hugest club over there, owned by a king.
Don't tell me that somebody sabotaged your deal now again. I mean, I think we can't take no more. I don't think I can.
No, the thing is, the telephone call that I get, no, the loan have to pull back because Village is only at 1 point in the league down there, and 6 games already gone, and you come back, and when you come, as soon as the season over here reach a certain level down, Village is up, we're going to send you back to Malaysia. So me arrive in Jamaica, sat down waiting for international clearance, saw Village played against Seba, drew 0-0 at Elliston Wakeland Center. Went inside there. You know, everybody glad to see me woman, see Village. Village was at 2 points. Harborview was at 16 points. The same old story the players say, nothing, no money, nothing, and it's a sufferation, and some people gonna scared to talk, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a sufferation and nothing. So whatever I have, I start to share with whoever around me and whoever is there. So I build back that bond, and was able to come to a negotiation with the management at the time that for each win, each players will get $5,000. And for each draw, they will get $2,000. That's all they're going to get paid. If they're the winner or draw, they're not going to get anything. So me turn to the players and say, all right, don't worry yourself. We're going to work, and we start work. 5 match unbeaten. Village, 5 match unbeaten. 5 match unbeaten. Boom, 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 boom. 5 game tier 4 benefit, 5 game 14 goals in the Premier League. Have Village back up so now. We're going to Harborview for the end round final. Remember, Village have 1 point, you know. And Village is now in the end round final of the Premier League.
Yeah.
The Saturday morning when we went to training now, the same murmur come around. All the kids, all the guys, them say, boy, them not get nothing and they don't know what I go on. So I sat down on the stand and said, listen, we're not going to bring any dispute. We're going to sit down here and I'm going to call them and I'm going to talk to them. Because if you guys win 5 games, you guys supposed to have at least 25,000 each.
Yeah.
You understand? Because that was the initial plan. I got a phone call from one of the close friend from the manager that he had some money for me. And I say, what you mean? He say, yeah, he had some money for me. And I tell him that money you have, call back the manager and tell him to make up that money and make the players them get some money. Instead of me get some money, me cool, me wait. When we left Trelawney the Sunday morning and arrived in Harborview, the coach at the time called out the starting 11.
Who was your coach? Marvin Tate?
Cashman Williams.
Oh, Jasper. Yeah.
He called out the starting 11. This was before.
You have to watch the camera, because when you come close, you have to lift up the tablet so we can see your face, you know.
Yeah. He called out the starting 11 and nobody heard my name. So Shane Crawford is the first one who get up and say, nah, what do you mean? Why Tough name? If Tough now play, nah, Tough have to play. So I just know where I know where it's coming from. So I just go outside and I sat down in the stand and I tell the players that play man and do the best. We lost the end round final. The Germany scored 3 free kicks. I sat right there beside Jer. Peter Cargill was the assistant coach at national team at the time. And I sat right there beside him when he called Coach Brown. And he was explaining what, say, I'm under some discipline problem and stuff like that, and that's why I don't play. And he came there to look at me because at first I'm not gonna see me since in return. So I receive a phone call now. I receive a phone call from a prominent coach, and he asked me what happened, and I explained to him. And he said he know because he coached the team before. And you know that must be the problem because that's not me. You know, I'm a player that worked hard. You know what I mean? Coach Bone come on the phone and I spoke to Coach Bone and I explained to him what happened. Coach Bone words was to me, Tier 4, it's always okay to be used, but make sure you get paid to be used. The word that Coach Bone tell me. And I never forget that.
At what age are you here in this lesson now? At what age are you now? You're around 26, 27.
Yeah, I mean about around 26, 27 now. 26. So
okay.
So that's when so that's when we went to the US game and we win the US game and stuff, you know.
The US game was a friendly, right?
Yeah. I would draw the US game. After we draw the US game, Village United was in America on tour. So I started a tour with them in America now.
Okay, so money start. So let me ask you this. So you were making some money from the national team because you win the DDSL Cup, supposed to get some good payment from the national team. The goal cup from the national team, because I mean because the people are wondering.
Let's put it this way. After, regardless of what I have said and what I have been through, and I still have to be grateful because my life could have been worse. You know what I mean? And I see many players go through worse than me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I can't even complain about what I get or what I don't get because God have kept my cup full. You know what I mean? So I have to give him thanks for that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm retired now.
Let me say this. I lift my hat off to you because given some of what things you go through and things like Leo Hatton was saying earlier, you must make sure that you big up some of the people who are, some of the people who have been good to you in Trinidad. I know you're going to do that, but to just hear all of the things, I mean, I can give you some of the comment. This is AQ. I mean, because AQ a baller, tragic. You're paying enough for one person. Your story for make a movie because this is incredible. Just unfortunate how low you started and how high you knew. You understand me? There's so many people saying that this cannot be real. You understand me? From the GFF and all of this, I somebody again saying I feel it for this dude. I think will bless you, which is Jah will bless you. I mean so many comments just
give thanks, man. Give thanks to life, man.
Assistant Cranky saying, man, have any player you have interviewed or engaged have a positive view of Borrell. You understand me? So many things, because from the outside looking in, a lot of people that have probably felt like Village was, because you were so successful on the field, that probably think that everything was okay, but apparently it wasn't the case. But
nah. I don't know if it was okay for some people, but I know enough youths faced it at Village United, and enough youths are sitting at home, even in Jamaica, and some people get the opportunity to live overseas now, and them appreciate what them go through with Village United, but some people regret they wasted their time.
Yeah. But you're at the point where you're saying you're at tour with them because you also played in Africa and you played in Europe.
Yeah, man. That come after the tour. I'm tell you, I was on.
Okay, so go ahead and tell us and get into that part of the story.
While I was on tour now with them in the US, I went back to Virginia Beach, my old club. They wanted to re-sign me because obviously I just scored against US in North Carolina. Friendly. So yeah. And then the MLS was there. I've been around so many places now, so there was so much option for me to play anywhere. And the deal was I was supposed to play for Harrisburg City Islander in the Division 3 of US League. So I turned to the manager and said, what you say? The owner now was saying still have a contract. I said, what you just say? I should play right here at Harrisburg in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, big man now, and the manager still tell you where to play. But go ahead and tell
me. Remember him still have this thing, and so me say, nah, me check the years now. I say, even if you have a contract for me, It have to end at some point now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So me, I let him know. No, I rather go home back to Jamaica and don't play again. I told him I rather go home back to Jamaica and retire and done with playing football than to play here in this division after I just scored against USA. People who have not my caliber are playing in the A League and the MLS. Why are you trying to push me down there? So, because of the same monetary deal while going under this table.
Oh,
Look
I
at what,
see. So they
look
were
at what happened.
actually collecting money for your services
Then
and then trying to
then
get you to go to the club afterwards. Whoa.
all right. Then honest. If you go loan somebody out, if you go loan somebody, they were cheating. I was a slave. You see the levels of what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Somebody
Because I
getting the
went to
money and
club.
you
I
doing the
went to
work.
club.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to club in Malaysia where I was offered 4,000 US a month, plus each win me get is an extra 4,000 bonus playing over there. After that 3 months up, I was offered 25,000 a month to stay there, US dollars. And because that was offered to me and not the club, I didn't stay there.
But like I'm saying that, but all right, it's like I'm on a person cuts off his nose to spite his face. Because if you get that $25,000 a month, that would also help village.
But look at what I'm
Because
saying.
you have a heart for the community.
If I have $4,000, I spend two with my fellow players. So if I have 25, how much would I spend?
Yeah.
So this is what happened now at Harrisburg. When I was
They
at
said that
Harrisburg,
they're not going to play at Harrisburg.
I said I'm not going to play at Harrisburg. So we were in the hotel and they were about to move to somewhere different. And I said I'm moving, but they wanted to finalize so I could stay in Harrisburg so they can move and go to a different state to do what they're doing, because they were going back and forth with the club and the meetings and everything, just trying to get me to sign. So I stand up outside on the coach at the time, Bill. I knew Bill when I was playing in the A League because, Harrisburg was a lower league. So I knew them playing Open Cups and stuff. So he walked up to me and he said, Tier 4, if you stay, I will keep this player and that player too, So I said, what you mean? So if I stay, we keep another player with me if I decided to stay. So right away, I ask him, who tell you to say that? And him look and him don't know what to say now because I realize that the management of Village told him that I have certain love for a certain type of players in the team that I want to see excel in life. If he decide to keep one or two of them, I would stay.
Yeah.
So when he mentioned the name of the player, which is Jeff Pierce, that he will keep Jeff Pierce, he will sign Jeff Pierce too if I sign. I said, okay, I will sign for 3 months. Because I wanted Jeff Pierce to get a taste of international football. You know what I mean? So as soon as Jeff Pierce played his first game for Harrisburg City Islanders and cementing place in the team, I left and I went to Sweden on trial.
Okay.
Because I knew the contract and everything was up. So I talked to them nicely. I tell them I'm leaving. I'm not going to stay anymore. And happy. I scored 9 goals with you guys. And I'm happy and I have to leave. You know what I mean? Because I can't stay there. I still have my sisters and my brothers. My father's still poor. My body's still poor. So I need more. You know what I mean? So I left and I went away to Sweden. I went on a 2 weeks trial in Sweden.
For which team?
Asters EF. They was playing in the Swedish first division.
Okay.
At the time, Luton Shelton was there playing for Helsingborg. Carl Stevens was there playing for IFK Stockholm.
And how did that trial go?
I went there on a 2 weeks trial and I was signed in 24 hours.
Oh. And how long did you play in Sweden? Because I want the people to know what going on, because a lot of people it's Trelawney, people don't realize it. Some of your accomplishment. But
I signed a contract in 24 hours for the Swedish club. And I started playing the following Sunday. So within 2 weeks of being in Sweden, I become a household name in Sweden. Not only in where I go, in Sweden. At one point, I saw Luton Shelton in an interview where they're asking, who is this guy? Why he came? Why he's scoring goals? And why he's so fast? And what happened? And Luton Shelton was telling them that the only thing I can speak about TF4 Bennett is he have more experience than me and he's more deadlier than me. At that time, when he said that on the phone, I said, but Luton Shelton is way ahead of me. He play more games with the national team more than me, he score more goals more than me. Why would he say say that? But he was speaking the truth and the fact. You know what I mean? If you know that if I'm given the opportunity, it will happen.
Yeah.
So I played there and my team was at 5th. They was fighting regulation. And we finished like 7th that year. The following year the team get regulated. I played 3 seasons there. And after my 3rd season, I came home and I played against Costa Rica in stadium. And on my way going back, me and Luton Shelton was talking on the plane, and he said that it's time for us to move on out of Sweden now and get something bigger. I said, I'm hoping for that. You know what I mean? So Henrik Larsson was a close friend of us. You know what I mean? If you know who Henrik Larsson is.
Yeah, man. He used to play for Celtic and Sweden and thing. Big forward.
From Barcelona. Okay,
I think he went to Manchester United in the back end of his career.
That's the story I'm gonna tell you about now.
Oh.
so
hold on, but
so what happened is
who is the manager the owners of Village?
Who's the owners of Village?
Yeah.
Village?
Who owns Village? Like the club, because the club is still operating now?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
Last time I heard it was Falmouth United.
Oh, so Falmouth United is Village United?
Yeah, last time I heard Village United turned to Falmouth United.
Oh, well, that team I know is owned by the Marlies. No.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Okay, but back in the days, who was like because I know you had a Village probably have the most coaches in Jamaica in 10 seasons.
Yeah, but you know the owner.
No,
you know what I mean? But I don't wish to even share that. You know what I mean? As I said, he was a person that you can't even say anything because, you know what I mean? As I said before, I still have to be grateful because he still gave me that opportunity to excel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I may not achieve everything I wanted to achieve out of football, but I achieved most things. You understand what I mean? So I still have to be grateful.
Okay. Yeah, man. Somebody's asking. So remember, you're going to tell us about Henrik Larsson and that story, but someone is asking, how did you get the Sweden contract to get the trial?
Okay. When was it? When we were at the Gold Cup, after scoring against South Africa, you remember I told you a lot of players that gotten contract? There was an agent there by the name of Patrick McCabe.
Oh, okay.
Patrick McCabe was the agent of Damani Ralph, a lot of players at the time. So he had given me his card at that time. So while playing in Harrisburg, me and him we were talking. We're talking like on a daily basis. Where he's telling me, no, you can't be there, you can't be at that place. You know what I mean? Which other people know that I'm not supposed to be there. You know what I mean? So I was just telling him that just buy me that 3 months so I can finish this contract that I say I have. But I'm going to give you a story now. I'm going to give you a serious story now.
Nobody other stories have serious to it us.
No, this one is terrible. When I get to Sweden, and my first game I scored 2. My second game I scored 3 hat-trick. After the second game, going on to the third game, I received a letter from FIFA as top hold. You know what a stop hold is?
No, you have to explain that to us. So you get a letter from FIFA?
From FIFA.
Yeah.
That I can't play no more games until the contract that I have with Village United has been resolved.
Whoa.
So the agent called me up on the phone now. Then you never tell me you have contract with Village United. Same way on it's big problem this now and all of a sudden because somebody at Village United wrote to FIFA and told FIFA that Village players can't be found on the earth that he's in Sweden playing for a different club without.
You know, I feel loved. We can't.
So with all the separation that I've been through, even if it was so, somebody was still trying to stop me.
Okay, all right. So they got that stop hold, and then what happened? I mean, did it work out, or it was
No,
dismissed?
it come the Wednesday, and everybody like, what is this? And again, the Sunday to play. So when I tell the agent that nothing like that, I tell my club there's nothing like that. Me have no more contract. So my club now in return now wrote a letter to FIFA and said this player is my player, it's our player, and whichever thing you need to resolve, we don't have a problem to resolve it. Just tell Village United to present a contract, a valid contract for this player right now, and we will honor it and stop this player from play. But if not, they think they should allow me to play. So FIFA send back a letter to them and tell them to send the contract. They didn't have a contract to send.
Yeah.
So what happened now? FIFA released me to play again and score, play again and score. So now is the time now to come home. Now me and Luton Chantal coming home now to play that same Costa Rica game I'm telling you about.
Right.
Upon arriving in National Stadium, we beat Costa Rica 3-1. Coming out of National Stadium, the owner of Village United was there in Kingston, wanted to talk to me. Okay.
I mean, come from overseas. Come from overseas.
Yeah, wanted to talk to me. He had a contract in his hand, presenting a contract to me, say I should sign it because I'm with Village that long and it's unfair for me gone and Village not get nothing off of me. So this person wanted me to sign a contract while I was contracted in Sweden.
I guess that was an easy decision for you. So
no, but remember me learn now, you know. Remember me learn. There's a lot of players that went to places, you know. There's a lot of big players or big name players that go to places, play football, do whatever they want to do, but they don't learn anything to bring back to help what's going on. Even if they do sometimes, because of the politics, it's already blocked before they even arrive.
So you're saying that there are people who will block things for footballers before they even get to they get to.
Of course. And not only footballers. For everybody, even musicians. You don't think people block people out? People block people out.
Yeah.
It's just you know what I mean? It's just third world country and politics. What you gonna do?
Yeah, so after you leave Sweden, where did you go next? Because you didn't come back to Village after this time because the 10 years gone now.
Nah. What happened is I told you that Henry Claassen, Neil Luton Shelton and Henry Claassen have sat down now.
Right.
So we decided to give Henry Claassen the mantle of being the agent for us now. So Henry Claassen was the person that working on me and Luton's career now. So what happened is Henry Claassen he was retired. He was just back home playing in Helsingborg because he never wanted to travel no more and stuff. He don't want to play no more. So he went to Manchester United for 3 months to replace Rooney because Rooney had a broken toe.
Right. He did go to Manchester. Yeah. I remember.
He had a broken toe. Rooney had a broken toe. And when he went there, Alex Ferguson wanted him to stay. And he said, no, he retired, he can't stay. But Alex Ferguson, because of the big people have them dealings that go on and so forth. So he decided to tell Alex Ferguson that he have 2 strikers in Sweden, that both of us fighting for the leading scorer in Sweden and we're ready to enter England anytime now. So when he came back, that's what he said to us. So when he said that to us now, Luton Shelton was the man in mind because he was the man leading. You know what I mean?
He was the man in Sweden at that time, leading the league.
Yeah, he had 16 goals and I had 14. So he was leading. He was in front and I'm at second. So what happened is Sheffield United swing for Luton Shelton and bought him for £3 million. So the Manchester United deal gone through the door. Because Sheffield United bought him, so he gone to England. So film deal gone now, so it left to one person now.
Yeah.
So I wanted 3 more caps for that 75%. For that 75% to enter England that year.
All right. You have to have
I wanted
75%.
3 more caps. Yeah, I wanted 3 more caps
Oh.
for enter England that year. That 2008. So the coaching staff changed in Jamaica, and Mr. Whitmore become the head coach. And then his first 3 game I wasn't called up. So after that 3 game, then the cycle start over again. So it will take me another 2 years. So
Oh.
if you go back and see a player that was signed 2008 from Manchester United, his name is Manushu. He's from Angola, Africa. Henry Claassen was his agent too. So Henry Claassen wanted him to bring him to Sweden for him to learn European
And
football.
bring you to
Me
Manchester
to
United.
England. Yeah, so him step over me because he had the cap for Angola.
So did the GFF know that you only need 3 more caps to sign for, and them couldn't even call you? Or they didn't know?
Listen,
Did you
I don't
talk?
even
No,
want
me
to.
have to try
I
to
don't.
find out. Careful.
I don't want to know them. No, I don't listen. I don't want to speak stuff where you know what I mean. It is what it is. It is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. What I'm saying is, it shouldn't be a situation where my agent have to be calling you and asking you for a call up for a player that been scoring.
Yeah, that is true because you were scoring the goals in Sweden. Luton
And scoring from
Shelton.
a country. And scoring from a country.
Yeah, Luton Shelton. Every time you play for Jamaica as well, because your last game was a Costa Rica game.
Yeah, and we won 3-1 and we scored too. Me and Luton scored in the same game. Yeah, so you know what I mean?
That Costa Rica game.
Yeah, so it's not like we weren't scoring. So I'm saying it's a new coach, new presidency. The presidency changed over to him. So if you realize in that time when Mr. Burrell get back office and the new coach got put in place, a lot of players change.
Oh, that was after. Oh, this was part of the big confusion in the football because this was the Creston Boxill, Captain Burrell.
Now you get to the thing. So you know, it's what politics do again. It's float back everything. You know what I mean?
Jamaica football sometimes is just
that's how I end up in Africa, because the player that left Africa and stepped over me, Henry Claassen, said to me, now it's best for me to go to Africa because he can make me earn a certain amount that I wouldn't earn in Sweden for the next 3 years.
Okay.
And then I'm at a path in my career now where I have to decide if I'm gonna take this money or I'm gonna sit and wait for that England door to open in 2 years, which may not happen again.
So what did you decide to do?
I take that money and I went to Africa.
Of course.
And I never regret going to Africa because I always wanted to go to Africa. You know what I mean? And then I went to Africa for the first year. I went in a giant club. I played in the Champions League of Africa. I won the prestigious Angolan Jerbola the first year.
Hold on. Tell us what you just repeat that because I was getting a comment. Just repeat everything about going to Africa.
I said I never ever. The thing is, I wanted to go to England, even though it never happened. I never regret going to Africa because I always wanted to visit Africa. I always wanted to go to Africa, and I don't know if it's in my prayer or why God make it work out like that, because I went to Africa and I played for one of the strongest club in Africa. I played in the African Champions League where I traveled all of Africa. You know, when you play in the Champions League of a continent, you travel country to country to play.
Right. So that means your club that you played for won their league?
What you saying? I won the league. I won the Giabola. It's called the Giabola. You can go and look it up. 2008 Angolan champion, Petro Atletico Luanda. We won the Giabola, which is the most prestigious league in that region. And we played in the I played in the Champions League the first season when I went there before I even won the championship, because the club also qualified for the Champions League from the season before. So it's a giant club.
Yeah, okay. So, how was your goal scored? Because you've always been a prolific goal scorer. How was your goal scoring?
For the 2 years I was in Africa, I scored 17 goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Owen is saying, Owen is saying, Therefore must be related to Job in the Bible. Though he slay me, yet will I trust him, Jaja, with a smile at the
Uh,
end.
but everything was it was an awesome run and grateful for life, grateful for everything because as I tell you, my life wasn't better rose, you know what I mean? I know where I grew up and I know where I'm coming from, I know what I have achieved. So I have to be grateful, you know what I mean? And as you say, Leo Harton say, legend Leo Harton said I should big up a lot of people who helped me out. If I begin to start calling names, we won't stop
that
calling names
that
all
is
right,
the
you know
thing.
what I mean?
You're gonna leave for somebody there, you know. So
Yes, and then something like that, you know what I mean? But there's a lot of people, man. There's a lot of people who, but the thing is, I don't really want to say Manning's man and then Rossi's man feel away, you know what I mean? But there's people
big up the one at Trelawney, man.
that's there, man. The whole of Chilani, man. But there's people in the big there's some people in the beginning of my life where me really have a certain love and respect for because them help me out a lot, you know what I mean? People like Mr. Oliver Warren over there in Clarkstown, you know what I mean? Oliver's, you know what I mean? He's like a brother to me and a whole heap of people, you know what I mean? Whole heap of people, whole heap of people. Whole heap of people. The same Fitzroy, Johnny Reed. You know what I mean? If I go to a community where I grew up, you have whole heap of people. You have a guy named Sammy, Tex, Kelly. Whole heap of people, man, that was there in the beginning with me. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And then along the way, a lot more people come, Paul Tigger Davis play a prominent role in my career. So I have to give him that respect at all time, you know what I mean? A whole heap of people, man. Whole heap of people. So even though it sounds bitter and it tastes bitter at time, it not always bitter.
Yeah, but
Because
like you said, I
I'm
don't
here
know.
today.
Yeah.
I'm here today to say that I'm retired now and I'm living with my family in the States and I'm okay, you know what I mean? I can give thanks and put glorify to God. Say I'm all right.
Yeah, but listen, for a man who people don't know this, the man stopped going to school at 12 for 2 years, on the street with his mother,
Yeah,
hustling
man.
and thing, was at Caymanas Park because his mother said he need to live at Caymanas Park and become a jockey. This
Yeah.
story, the other story from them places
Yeah,
that you playing
because
in
remember
Angola.
when you're in the ghetto, Remember when you're in the ghetto, When you're in the ghetto, You see your mother don't want to lose it a certain lifestyle, When
Yeah.
you're growing up in the ghetto as a youth, your mother don't want to lose it a certain lifestyle. So she would try to figure out the best way to try to get you out or the best opportunity. And she never have much opportunity. So when she hear about Cayman as part now, she'll be like, okay, yeah. If it's an opportunity, just get him out so he can be better himself. That's all she wanted from me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You know what I mean? God bless her soul, It's just life in general, man. You know what I mean?
No, man. Listen, somebody, and I agree with Owen. Owen, you need to sit down with somebody and write a book, man. I'm telling you about your journey because I think it would serve as an inspiration for many, many people. Because I mean, it's so many things players can learn about even signing contracts, looking at the contract, making sure what you're doing. Like there are so many lessons in everything that you have said. The fact that those certain things weren't right and the management of the team wasn't right, you still had the heart of the people, of the community in your mind. You understand me? So though you weren't doing it for them, you were doing it for the people. Some players would say that they take the money, but you decided that listen, instead of paying me, let all the players benefit. So there are so many, many lessons in your whole journey, and just how every time you get somewhere in life, there was somebody to help you. So while some are working against you, there was always some connection that get you to
Yeah,
move
always
from
something, you know what I mean?
Harrisburg to
You know what I
Sweden,
mean?
from Sweden to
And
Africa.
I always look, all right, look, if you remember the Premier League in Jamaica, everywhere I go to in the world, maybe except Malaysia, and I send players back home to village to play. I send players from Argentina to village to play. You know. I send more than 6 African to village to play to help village. You know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So village is a club that I just wish village was still around. You know what I mean?
Well, they're saying that it is Cosman Williams actually sold Bacastar to the Marlies, which is now Falmouth.
Okay, village. So I don't know about village. Remember, I left, you know. I haven't been in Jamaica in 9 years, you know.
Oh.
I haven't been in Jamaica in 9 years.
I never know it is that long. But let me give you some more of them comment because is this African team he speaks on Al Ali of Egypt defeated Cotton Sport of Cameroon in the final to win their 6th title.
Yeah, Al Ali beat us in the semi-final in 2008.
Okay, so
Al Ali is from Egypt.
Right, but so what is your team name? Because I think
my team is Petro Atletico, like petroleum, like gas. Because it's a gasoline company that owns that team, you know. Petro Atletico de Luanda in Angola.
Okay, and then
my team was in Angola.
All right, so let me give you some more comments that the people are here for you. Man is man. Him chat from Kingston, Jamaica to China with the Jamaican team. Elvis I say a chat from. Elvis say, man is man, him chat from Kingston, Jamaica to China with the Jamaica team.
Tell Elvis that somebody tell him.
Oh, Elvis, you never did on the trip. What you do? True that. I remember Tough coming to Prospect Links with Ian, that is Fitzroy, saying that Barry says, struggles teaches us a lot, Sir Bennett. Those who know. And he says, blessed love, you know. He said, those who know. Yeah. And he says, what happened? This person, what happened after the 2 years in Africa?
I came home back, you know. That's when I came home back 2010. I retired 2010. 2010 I came home back. I played briefly with Village, and then I played a little bit with Augustown, and then I just threw in the towel.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was no more motivation.
Because you were not once from when Burrell came on to the second time on the court, you were never called back to the national team.
I was never called back. I was never called back since
from the Costa Rica game.
Yeah, I was never called back since Theodore Whitmore become the coach.
Yeah.
Since my captain Theodore Whitmore become the coach, I've never been called back.
Right, because Theodore was the captain in that Gold Cup.
Theodore was the captain in the first game that I played against Brazil.
Oh. All right. The story. Marvelet Hartney says, blessing tier 4. You know, Balakar is a Duncan's man, you know. Yeah, a lot of good work in a Duncan. I don't, you know.
That's where I'm from. That's my hood.
Okay.
That's where I'm from, you know.
Man, I'm asking you to tell him a little bit about Angola. Somebody wants to go to Angola.
Somebody wants to go to Angola. Tell him. All right.
I mean,
Angola is the most expensive city in the world to live in. Luanda is the most expensive city in the world to live in. Angola. Angola is the most expensive city in the world to live.
In the world?
You think I'm joking? Look it up. Just look up the most expensive city in the world to live in. A 1-bedroom house in Angola is no less than $6,000 a month. In Luanda, in the city of Angola, the capital.
Okay. So the league over there is way better than the Premier League in Jamaica.
The league in Angola could jump in any league in Europe.
Whoa.
Remember these players, that plays in Angola. You got many players from Portugal, Angola speak Portuguese, Angola colonized by Portugal, See? Most of these teams in Angola have more than 9-10 people that was born in Portugal that plays here.
Oh, so you speak a little Portuguese?
Poquito.
No, you can't. Eh?
I forget that no man. I gone long time.
Elvis Hart is saying that his bossy the keeper tell him. So him know what was.
Yeah.
But and then
Elvis had a brother, man.
man. Beaver.
Isaiah King.
Ishmael King says, did you play with Jeremy and you? Yeah, man, Jeremy and you give him the big goal against the USA, man. One pass, King you the maestro off of the left.
All games. I want to tell you. Jeremy and you, me and Jeremy and you been like since the Digicel Cup. Me and Jeremy and you been like brothers, you know. Like me mean like very close, you know what I mean? And even when we go on tour, it's always me and Jeremy and you that stayed in the same room, you know what I mean? I was one of the person who even encouraged him to come to Sweden to play in the Swedish league when he came there to help pave that way for him, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Listen, we have 10 minutes to go before 2 hours when we cut off. But man, I don't even hear some of the players that you enjoy playing with, some of the players who were the hardest for you to play against in the leagues that you have played in. So there's so much we haven't even covered. But tell me some of your favorite players to play with from village to the leagues that you have played in over the world, you know. National team.
All my players in the village was nice. Enjoy playing with Elvis Hart himself. Is a strong player that encouraged players, and you know what I mean. Shane Crawford, Fabian Dawkins, Mark Williams, all the players. Them Laxley Thomas. If you know that midfielder Laxley Thomas.
Showtime.
Yeah, phenomenal player, phenomenal midfielder. A lot of players
you know what is funny? You know what is funny, right? So Showtime was at Constant Spring with me as a youngster, you know. Before he broke into the team, you know. I'm telling you, football is, you know, like when a person take the game seriously, in comparison to an next person, like them guys that probably take it more serious than me, you know, because right now I realize that if they play football in Jamaica, you go broke. So we have other things. But I mean, it's amazing how Showtime transformed. I'm telling you.
Yes, man. When him arrive in village, him see this thing, you know. So him take it up, you know. Him see this thing and him really did well.
Yeah. Somebody are asking us, ask him if enough Cape Verdeans in Angola, them can play ball. They speak Portuguese.
Yes, a lot of them in there too. A couple of them was in my team too.
Okay. I mean, which one of the continents you enjoyed playing your football? I know you didn't spend a long time in Argentina. And which club were you at in Argentina?
I was at Banfield.
Oh, yeah, Banfield, a big club, man. Yeah, first my time I wonder, like, how you leave, you know?
Top club, you know what I mean? I was playing alongside Zengenetti. So you must know that it wasn't. Let's imagine a little guy from Jamaica, like a small place like this, went to Argentina, his first game, 3.
That's what I'm saying. Then, for some time I wonder, like, how you did make the man convince you to come back to Jamaica?
When I go to Argentina, you know, it wasn't me alone, you know. It was me, Fabian Dawkins, and Gregory Simpson, you know.
And all 3 of you came back?
All 3 of us came back because the village management wanted a package deal. And it started to say at the time they know that the club only wanted me. So that's why I returned solo by myself, because I went there back by myself, you know. After we came home the first time, you know, they have to send me back, you know, because they requested me back to come back.
Oh. Whoa.
Yes, man, but you know, still, as me say, it's life, you know what I mean? And I want all of Jamaica, you know what I mean? All of Jamaica, Chilani, Senton, Ochi, Reyes, Exchange, play football in Exchange too.
Oh, yeah. What you should have the league? They look 6 aside up. I look school.
No, I played Division 2 with Charlene United back in the days when I was in high school, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, I mean, I played Corner League in Higgintown, all them
Lima.
places. Lima, all them places. I got friends, Kanjan, I got friends everywhere, you know what I mean? So as me say, me can't even pinpoint out and say this man or that man, but I just want the whole of Jamaica to know that me highly appreciate the love that been shown to me as I get to you that rise from nothing, and you know what I mean? And I love everybody come and know say Jamaica love me like that. That's what I say. Everybody,
Yeah, man.
everybody, every parish. Yeah,
What's
every parish, everybody that support me over the years and show love, because I remember at one point I was in Jamaica and I was scoring goals and I wasn't getting in the call of the national team, and people were calling from all England, every TV station, every radio. People were calling, what about this youth? What's wrong with this youth? You know what I mean? So if people never really check for me, they want to even go to them way for call and really show some them love there, you know what I mean? And then, as me said, this Rasta man that's from Westmoreland, this Rossi's man. I don't really know him name per se because we used to call him Rasta man, you know what I mean? He's down there somewhere in Westmoreland. I always call in the sports program them and back in the time it's IRFM sports call, and he used to give it to them and tell them that players need to get call and such. That person too, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, and whole heap of love, man.
Yeah, man. Encourage you. I mean, anything you say out of your mouth supposed to serve as an inspiration for the youngsters. So we have 4 minutes. I'm going to give you that. People, let me just say this. Listen, it is. You have to hit the like button. I can't believe that you're saying a lot of you commenting about how great and how good the thing is. Hit the like button, man. Hit the like button. So when CF4 is going to watch this back, with him family and thing, him can see that, not just the comment, but the likes on the video. The Travis, who is arena man, said the Ross name, Ross Mikey, and said that
yes, man, Ross Mikey name the true man.
He live in England now. Yeah, man.
Yeah, if you can reach out and get a number for him or something.
All right, I'll connect him for you. I'm going to link Tikaros, which is Ted Wright Jones, who is over there. I'm going to link him and see if we can get a number for Ross Mikey. And then see if we can...
I played with Tikaros too, I played with Ted Wright Jones at Village too,
Tikaros came to Village?
Tikaros not the Rasta.
From Reno? Ted Wright Jones. Tikaros.
No, not Ted Wright Jones. It's the wrong one. No, not Ted Wright Jones. The one I'm talking, the Russian player that I'm talking, he used to play for Waterworks.
Oh.
It's a different Tikaros you're talking.
Yeah, man. So talk to us, man. Encourage the youth them so the time is here to can say something to the other youngsters who probably going. Yeah.
The thing is about football. It's like you still have to encourage the youth and tell them that whatever you want, whatsoever you want, not only football, whatsoever you want and whatsoever you set out to become in life, don't let nobody tell you that you can't become somebody. You know what I mean? No matter where you're from, what part of the ghetto you're from, you can become somebody. You don't have to choose a part where you don't want to choose. Just decide what you want to do, work on your craft, work as hard as possible. When one door closed, just remember that many more gonna be open. You know what I mean? And speaking of experience, Jamaica, and many doors gonna close. But if you want something, don't make it discourage you. Just keep work, and your work will pay off. Your work will pay off. You know what I mean? Be respectful of anything that you're doing. You know what I mean? You don't have to do what you don't want to do per se. But if you want to do it, and if it's football you want to play, or if it's track and field you want to do, or if it's music you want to do, or whatever you want to do it to the best of your ability. That's, you know what I mean? Because you never know who listening, who watching, or whatever it's going to be. So just do it to the best of your ability, and it's going to take you wherever you want to be in life. And it's a way out. Even though it's hard and people are down there blocking people, it's a way out. You know what I mean? Try it and try to get out, because getting out is the only way. There is no other way. You have to try get out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, man. Sir Tia, for respect. Listen, I'm a pastor, man. Let me tell you, you have inspired me, because some of the things that you have gone through, it is so easy for people to have gone through those things, and have bitterness and resentment in them life and them heart, and they have managed to go through all of this and have a positive outlook and use them as, you understand me, as like lessons to inspire and transform people and just encourage people. And honestly, I know it may seem like insurmountable, but write a book, man. Sit with somebody, um, and just talk the story and tell them to write it out for you. Because listen, a lot of youths need to. I mean, many of them may not see this video. A lot of persons will see it. It will always be there. But
Well, I'm say this, Mr. Mannings, man. I don't know if the people of Jamaica want to say it, but I know this. Tiafoe Bennett is a living legend. I've done things that no other players have done. I've gone places that no other players have gone to. You know what I mean? People don't really highlight Tiafoe Bennett in a certain aspect, but it don't matter to me. But certain things like those things that you're talking about right now, it's for, those things are for my kids. You know what I mean? Those that's a, my name is a brand, you know. All of my kids' names start with T. All of them name is Bennett. You know what I mean? So when I travel and I learn, I set a platform for them to come to live off of. You understand what I mean? So these books and these movies is for them to do about their father. You see what I mean?
okay, yeah.
So it's just a little insight of what it is. Because let's look at it. There's no other player. Remember, Thomas Grant is from Chilani, which is a prolific goal scorer.
Yeah, man.
Scores so many goals. And there's no other players from Chilani.
Listen, there was a time when Thomas Grant and I think Gart Boota was his name were playing together.
At Wadada.
Wadada.
And there's no other players that played in Chilani in all their life have scored the amount of goal I scored. I'm the all-time leading scorer for Village United, and they can't move it. And I'm seeing, and the same thing goes for my school, and the same thing goes for the club that I start out at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So even though people are doing this and doing that, what you put there, they cannot remove it. You know what I mean? So once you work towards what you want in life, you will achieve it. You got to just write your own script.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm just grateful for life, man. I'm grateful for everybody, man. I'm grateful for Coach Brown. I'm grateful for Jeffrey Maxwell. I'm grateful for Paul Tigat Davis, Steve Buckner. I'm grateful for all of the youths, every ghetto youth down in Jamaica. You know? Yeah, oh my God, man, when they're Downswell, I'm coach that for life, man. I love him like cook food, you know. Aaron Lawrence, you know what I mean? All of our people down there in Reno, same way. But you don't know, it is what it is. Chilani is just my place, you see me?
Yeah, they make the whole of the Westmoreland man, they hate you still.
Yeah, man, and we never really have no control. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, look at the situation. I left country and I go to town. And coaches called me and said, come over. And I went over to clubs. And players that I played with that village are making up them face and screwing and say, this man want to come take me game, man. And I look at them and I say, no, I've done it all. Me don't need a game. Me left and I go somewhere else. Me just leave that for him. You know what I mean? I'm going to mention I still love him and check for him same. I'm not come to take a game in general. You know what I mean? I want the best way, same way. You know what I mean? Players that are sent overseas to. I send players overseas, you know, like go Malaysia, go there, help other people, open doors for other people, same way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. See, Coach Carlton Alexander saying that he was the coach for Boota and Thomas at when they were at Wadada. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Was the coach. Yeah,
man. Nice,
and then Elvis is reminding you to remember.
Yeah, Marvin Tate. Of course, it's a Tate. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Everybody, man. As me say, Elvis, remember everybody, man. That's why me don't want to call name and then you know what I mean? You know what I mean? But everybody, man. Everybody. That's no Tiafoe Bennett. Grateful for everybody. From Nigel Pint to Maran Pint. It's not only, you know what I mean? Everybody. Because they do show me love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm grateful.
Yeah. Thanks for the super sticker, Dave Stone. Really appreciate it. You know, it matters. Thanks for the support. Tier 4 has lived about 5 lives in one. I am emotionally exhausted from listening to you, sir. But most importantly, you are beyond inspirational. And that's the
Yeah, man,
perfect
respect,
way
man, respect.
of putting it, Dave Stone. You understand me? Perfectly said. Well said. Listen, therefore, I'm going to allow you to spend the rest of your evening with your family. Listen, I really listen when Garnet, I told him that, listen, Trelawney is a parish that don't get recognized. And the football, cricketing, and outside of Usain Bolt, is a lot of the track and field people that originate out of Trelawney that people don't know because of how big they are. But the
You know,
truth is,
and I won champion boy at Western Boys Champ twice without running at Boys Champs.
see, see, that's
That's a different story.
different story. You understand me?
You know what I
So,
mean? But
and I said to him, I said, Denton, listen, I need to talk to this because I don't know if people really. Probably tonight is when a lot of people gonna realize the kind of impact that you have had. And the truth is that you should have played for Jamaica a whole lot more than you did. Because I mean, I would say that if you were like every other game, when you check the record, it will show that almost every other game you scored for Jamaica by record. You rarely played.
are every given opportunity.
Yeah,
And most of my games, if you really check all my games, probably only the US game I started, Most of my games I came off the bench,
that's what I'm saying that. And every time
You
you
know
come
what I mean?
on, you score.
You know what I
You know?
mean? So the US game was even the first game that I really started in a big game.
Yeah. And Travis,
You know what I mean?
Travis is saying that you need to come back for part 2, so we're gonna see if we can if we can arrange that, and
Yeah,
thing.
man, no problem, man. Anything for my people, because as I say, if it wasn't
Yeah,
for the people, it wouldn't be no tier for Ben. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And
yeah,
I have
man.
a big wall, as I say, Falmouth, all the people that fed me, gave me food to eat. You know what I mean? When I was there with nothing, I'm grateful, you know what I mean? And I shall forever be grateful. You know what I mean? R.I.P. Miss Joyce. I heard that Miss Joyce died in compound, you know what I mean? Then you have Miss Evans, the next lady who used to take care of me down the same way, and every evening she makes sure so me have a little food. And because as Mr. The village was a struggle, and you know what I mean, and we've been through the struggle, and we're grateful for that. You know what I mean? We're grateful for this struggle. Like we're not grateful for the struggle we fight, so we can be stronger today. And we're still grateful for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Stefan Brown says, I remember this youth shouting my name at Exed, playing for GC Foster.
Oh, that's Baidu.
Yeah.
Yes, man. Yes, man. That was good. Okay. Yeah, man. Big respect. Big respect, Baidu. Yeah, man. Big respect, Baidu. All a Terry Park. All of love and, upset a family. All of love, same way.
Yeah, man.
Yes, man.
Yeah, people, listen. We hit the 2 hour mark. We gone over it, so we want to respect. Therefore, we are going to talk, because we have to go make you, make you come on again and make sure it's a cargo. Come on, come, come bust the tune with you.
Yeah. Give thanks and respect, man, for
Yeah,
everything,
man.
man. You know what? As I say, Cargo was just another ghetto youth like me, and he mentioned my name, and he embraced it, and he makes something out of life. Grateful for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm grateful for that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So it's life, man.
Yeah, I
But
need to go and listen to that song because
even when
I need to go and listen to that song because I mean, I'm not really well. I need to listen to that
even
song and hear
until
it.
even until today, Cargo still think that the song is what made the break, but it wasn't the song. It was the name because. No,
Yeah,
it's not like I'm bigging up my name, but if you
yeah,
really look at 2009, 2010, Tier 4 Bennett name was in
it's
everybody's
true,
mouth in
man.
Jamaica. You know what I mean? So when he said Tier 4, he never realized what I'm saying until how big. And when he did the song, the song sound good and everything, But when him get the break is when him perform in a stadium, Him perform in a stadium and say in a reggae boy game, him say Tier 4 and the whole stadium go wild. That's when him break. But him no know.
All right. And hey, listen, we can't ask some more questions, brethren. The thing will go past time, and Nick, we're gonna have him for part 2. Then we're gonna tell you how him get the
No,
name
part
Pastor right.
second.
Yeah,
Part second.
Yeah, part second. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so he's going to tell you at that time how him get the name Tafari and all of them things there, because them ask how you get the name Tafari. But blessed love, you understand me? I mean,
Big respect.
inspiration all over. Inspiration all over. You understand
Yeah,
me?
man. Love,
So,
love, man, and thanks for having me. And I'm grateful to know that you have a platform where you can share me, where my people can see me and share talks with me and stuff, because I haven't seen my people in a while and they haven't seen me either. You know what I mean? As I said, I traveled most of my life and was doing stuff for me and my future, and now I have my kids, so I'm just settling with them and trying to help them achieve what they want to achieve too. You know what I mean?
yeah, man. Yeah, man.
So grateful.
Yeah, man. Blessed love. Take care to you and the family, and we will be in touch and set up the second one. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Jaguide, man. Jaguide every time.
All right. All right. So there you go, people. There's nothing I have to say. There's nothing I need to add. I mean, it was just great. I mean, great. Not just excellent, but excellently great. All because of therefore. You understand me? So listen, just hit the like button if you have not yet subscribed to the platform. Do that. Tell other people about this. You need to let some youngsters who out there in the sport listen to these things and let it inspire them. I'm telling you, let it serve as an inspiration to them. These are the stories that we need to hear so we can see that they can make it out of any struggle. In spite of the hate and the blockings and the stoppings and the fightings, you can still live past that, still love people, still help people, and still excel and succeed in this life. I'm telling you. So encourage somebody. Tell them to listen to the story. When them say them having a hard time, tell them to listen. You need to hear what therefore went through. And he still made it. So blessings to everyone. Have a great night. On Friday, right? On Friday, we have the first Meadowbrook High School footballer that we're going to be interviewing, right? That's all I'll tell you. That's going to be a fascinating story. So look out for that one. Again, thank you so much for being a part of I Am Sure Sports. We're forever grateful for the legend. Not just in Trelawney, but in Jamaica's football. Therefore, Bennett. Thank him for coming on and being a part of this. I'm so glad that you got to share the experience with him. Have a good night. I am Man's Man. This was I Am Sure Sports.